guys a good day. I'm Christ, I'm Disciple, and I really want to talk to you guys right now about Warner Brothers Discovery and with the direction they're going in. It's very clear now that David Zaslav wants the Trinity, he wants a team up, he wants the Justice League involved in films. Now, Black Adam, let's make this abundantly clear. Black Adam was not supposed to have the Justice League or any member of the Justice League in it. Okay, the way how Walter Hamada had set up his version of the DCEU, if you notice, Henry Cavill was not allowed, or Henry Cavill was not seen in that DCEU. Ben Affleck was not seen in that DCEU, even though for the Flash he was supposed to come back, but so far he has not been seen. Cyborg has not been seen in that DCEU. The only individual who has been seen in that DCEU so far, and in ancillary uh, 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 ancillary HBO Max series, has been Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller has been seen in CW shows. Ezra Miller has been seen in, I believe he was seen in the Peacemaker series, along with other props or other people propping for the Justice League. None of the actors, not Jason Momoa, not Gal Gadot, not Ben Affleck, not Henry Cavill, have been seen. But Ezra Miller has been seen with them. But my point is that you could see that the Toby Emmerich, Walter Hamada, and Ann Sarnoff, and all the people who agree with these people, including Jeff Johnson, were trying to phase out. Ray Fisher was being pushed aside. Ben Affleck was supposed to be phased out of this thing. Gal Gadot would have continued onwards, and Jason Momoa, but Ray Fisher and Ezra Miller. But Ray Fisher, Ben Affleck, and Henry Cavill looked like they were going to be phased out of this version of the DCEU. And just to make my point, they started focusing on what they called standalone films, even though I must give lots of props to David Sandberg. David Sandberg was trying to connect to BVS. He was trying to still keep that thread, because you can see, now remember, David Sandberg, if I'm not mistaken, besides being a big fan of Zack Snyder, David Sandberg, who was doing horror films and stuff before that, when he was hired to do Shazam, I believe either David Sandberg was part of the old regime or not. Not the old regime in terms of Hamada, but before Hamada and the gentleman who's heading the Warner Brothers at the time with Zack Snyder and so on. I think he was brought in on board before or after. You can check me on that. But what I'm saying is David Sandberg really tried his best with Shazam to connect Shazam to the DCEU and connect to particularly to connect to the Justice League, okay, through Henry Cavill, and even Batman v Superman, the clashes between the two, the newspaper clippings and so on. You could see he was trying to connect to BVS. He was not trying to connect to. Notice he wasn't trying to connect to the 2017 Justice League movie, right? Now, the 2017 Justice League movie, I now begin to realize what, you know, uh, this regime with Hamada, Hamada and Emmerich and Sarnoff and Johns and all these other people were trying to do. Basically, all right, they were trying to phase out the Justice League and have these other movies. So Justice League, the movie Justice League, was so terrible, and it did so poorly. Even though it was an enjoyable movie to some degree, but it was so terrible and done so poorly because the CGI was not completed. It was an incomplete movie. To be honest with you, they rushed it. Um, it was so poor compared to what we got, which was much better than what we would have gotten in 2017 because it was longer and everything. Um, but uh, it was so poorly done that nobody wanted to see the Justice League anymore, right? Nobody was thinking about it. That was the temple thing. That was the build up, the climax. We were hyped for that movie, and when we saw it, it was like, meh, it was okay. I tried to defend the movie. I saw it 10 times in the cinema to try and make it have profit. I tried to defend the movie as if it was because I was believing WB, and then I realized they were BSing us, right? Now, the thing is, WB then moved away from the connected universe and they started doing standalones. So the first thing we got was Aquaman. Aquaman wasn't connected. Well, it did continue off of Zack Snyder's Justice League. It did. The continuity still was, wow, wow, that was amazing. Thankfully, that was shelved. Yes, the connectivity was kind of loosened up because some things, that James Wan was trying to work out, he changed it up, right? He just had him talking underwater. Mira wasn't speaking with a British accent anymore and stuff like that. But there was still a connectivity in that he was going to see his father, which he did. That's what he did in the Aquaman. After that, David Sandberg went out of his way to connect Shazam to BVS. I really give. If there's one thing I know necessarily, I'm not really a big fan of Shazam. I have not really watched the movie in its entirety yet. But the one prop I will give to David Sandberg is that Shazam was absolutely connected to the DCEU. It was a DCEU movie. And the thing about that is, and I say it over and over again, I will say it again, is that Shazam really is a good movie because it shows you can have different tones in the DCEU, right? Shazam was colorful and all of that stuff, right? Now, after that, we had Birds of Prey, if I'm not mistaken, as a DCEU movie. It didn't do very well. And again, Birds of Prey wasn't really connected to Zack Snyder's DCEU. And again, nothing to do with the Justice League, right? Now, Sandberg, he tried to at least bring in BVS and BVS-related things and show that these characters lived in the universe, ignoring Justice League, right? But the Superman at the end of Shazam was a blue suit Superman. Now, Superman was black suit Superman, right? They ended up having blue suit Superman. Of course, David Sandberg wouldn't know that. Now, of course, uh, you know, uh, uh, Zach Levy really didn't do any good for the cause of release the Snyder Cut at the time, saying there's no cut out there and stuff. And he kept on saying that over and over again, and he made fun of it, and he made fun that there was no cut. And Zachary Levy kind of did Shazam no favors by doing that, because David Sandberg, I'm gonna say this over and over again, I got love for David Sandberg. I have not gone seen your movie, David Sandberg. Please don't take it against me. At the time, I was really more adamant on seeing this. I will go and watch Shazam. And whenever Shazam 2 Fury of the Gods comes out, I'll watch it. Okay? Because you know that you have always been, and you still are, connected to Zack Snyder's Justice League. You always followed the Zack Snyder route. So I gotta give him lots of props. And however you want to do Shazam as a movie, I have respect for you. Okay? So with David Sandberg, I have nothing against David Sandberg. Okay? It's just that I wasn't interested in Shazam, and then I was pushing for the Snyder Cut at the time. I will get around to watching Shazam. It's not necessarily my kind of movie necessarily, but I understand it's a child and stuff. And Zachary Levi wasn't bad in it. He wasn't bad in it at all. You know, Shazam is a kind of outlandish character. So, or should I say Captain Marvel? But having said that, I am going to watch Shazam because I can tell you right now, if you look, Shazam was next. Not Shazam, sorry. It was Birds of Prey, and then Wonder Woman came out, and Wonder Woman again was a standalone movie. Did not do well at all in the box office. Lots of policy and just movements in Warner Brothers were just managed terribly. Jason Keeler had an idea about using HBO Max. HBO Max has not come to be, but I believe putting it on HBO Max hurt the movie even more. I don't think this movie would have ever made its budget because after seeing it once, you're not interested in seeing it unless you have kids. Maybe they'll want to see it again, right? So I could see the kids enjoying the movie, but as an adult and as someone with just I just couldn't. I was not going to watch that again. I have not watched it since. Okay. And I do know what the movie's about. And it does have some admirable traits to it. Okay. But with respect to Shazam, I'm sorry, not Shazam. I keep on going back to it. Wonder Woman 84. It was terrible. All right. Um, After Wonder Woman 84, they then proceeded to have the Suicide Squad. Again, a mild reference to a member of the Justice League, which was Superman. There was a reference to Superman in that film, but again, a standalone movie. And now, after the Suicide Squad, they are putting out Black Adam. And again, Black Adam was not supposed to have any reference to Superman or the Justice League. It has something in reference to Suicide Squad, so you see the connecting threads there. They didn't really want to have the Justice League going in there. The feeling I got was that they were trying to do these minor characters, get traction, and as you can see, even in Black Adam, they weren't interested in the Justice League. They would decided to do the Justice Society of America, which would have again pushed the Justice League away until the Flash movie, which would have reset the thing in that they would have looked in a different universe, okay, and carried everything. That would have reset everything because now the Flash would have been in the Keaton universe or wherever Michael Keaton is. So it would have never gone back to Ben Affleck. It would have never gone back to that. You could flush them out. They're existing somewhere. They're existing somewhere. I don't think they would have write off the universe or anything. Or maybe they would have killed off Ben. Who knows? But they would have been existing somewhere. Okay? And they would have focused on this different universe with Batgirl, obviously, with Supergirl and so on. So what do I have to say about this? I want to say here is what David Zaslav, here is what Warner Brothers Discovery has done. Okay? And this is why I believe that we are dealing with restoring the Snyderverse. Period. Just like what David I forgot the guy's name, the Shazam director. Like he was keeps on emphasizing, okay? One, New Line Cinema was producing these movies. Okay? It wasn't Warner Brothers, New Line Cinema. And now David Zaslav, he's gonna end up inheriting some debt from Warner Brothers. New Line Cinema hasn't been making a whole lot of money off of these movies. But here's the thing. Now it'll be some other production company, which is a good thing. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Black Adam, we already know that Ben Affleck is not only going to be in the Flash movie, but Ben Affleck will also be in the Aquaman movie. This is not a rumor anymore. This is going to happen. That shows the changing of the guard. So the former regime wasn't pushing the Justice League, but now they're pushing suddenly one member of the Justice League, which is Batman. So we know he's going to continue after the Flash into Aquaman. Two. The second thing is almost all these films had reshoots. I mean, extensive reshoots. Even Black Adam, to some degree, had extensive reshoots. They had reshoots with it, and they tried to make it. And you watch at the Black Adam. The first one that came out was very serious, right? It was a kind of teaser. It was serious, and then the second one that came out had some humor in it, and People didn't like the second trailer. I didn't like it. And then the third one, and that came at SD San Diego Comic Con, and on top of that, Henry Cavill was there. Okay. Then the third one we saw really had more visceral grittiness to it, right? It felt more visceral. It felt more gritty, right? And so the tone of it was different. Now, that in and of itself, and then Amanda Waller was in it, which again, still, and they said, she wasn't there originally, so they did do reshoots. Now, here's the other thing. The other thing is Henry Cavill will show up at the end of it, right? Not only Henry Cavill, but it seems the Justice League. Now, follow me on this. David Zaslav is reintroducing the characters that Walter Hamada and Toby Emmerich and Ann Sarnoff were trying to phase out. We weren't hearing nothing about Henry Cavill at all. All right? We weren't hearing anything about Ben Affleck. We had Gal Gadot and we had Aquaman, right? Gal Gadot got her shot at Wonder Woman 2, 84, they call it, because they did well with Wonder Woman movie. Aquaman did very well, so Jason Momoa is getting a second film. However, because of what happened with Justice League, where Ben Affleck's Batman looked terrible in that movie, Jason Momoa's character looked reasonably good. People enjoyed him, even though he was kind of kooky. Well, Gal already had her sequel done. So what you ended up with was a phasing out of Henry Cavill, a phasing out of Ben Affleck. This is what they were going to do, phase him out. Well, Ben Affleck was still going to be in the Flash movie, but he was going to get phased out, right? So what you're looking at is with Black Adam. Look at what Black Adam. Now the next thing you couple it with, right? That shows that again, David Zaslav is talking about restoring the Snyderverse. He's doing that. Okay, that's what he's doing. He's restoring the Snyderverse. Is the fact that he keeps on talking about the Trinity, right? Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, right? He keeps on talking about them. And then he talks about this team-up film that they're each going to have their own movies and they're going to team up. So here's the thing. Clearly, the team-up movie is something part of the 10-year plan. So there is a 10-year plan on a concrete one, like Syl was saying. Now, here's the other thing. The movie that was supposed to kind of transition from after the Flash out of the Snyderverse into some other verse, right? Which was Batgirl, has been canceled. It's supposed to be on HBO Max, but nonetheless, it's canceled. Follow this now. The other thing is that Aquaman, which was supposed to be a film where Michael Keaton's Batman was supposed to go into Aquaman, not Ben Affleck's Batman. All of a sudden, we only have Ben Affleck's Batman there. Which means the following. David Zaslav and Company Limited are focused on the Justice League, whereas the previous administration was focused on not dealing with the Justice League at all because the Justice League film did so poorly, the theatrical cut. Because of that, they were trying to focus on this alternate sort of thing. And yeah, we can have a Justice League, but we'll have that with Black Adam. We'll have Justice Society of America. Now we'll replace the Justice League, right? So they were trying to replace what was already there, and they were trying to reboot the whole thing through going into another universe instead of being with the Snyderverse. So they were trying to phase out the Snyderverse and go into another universe. And Black Adam would have been self-contained, and he can just join that universe. And he would have, So clearly that backfired, right? That's why we had the Headless Superman. That's why we had very little of any of them, whether it's Wonder Woman, Batman, or Superman. None of those guys we saw in any of these standalone movies. They were focused on standalone movies, but yet the standalone movies were connected to one another, right? They were sort of connected to one another. Because James Gunn referred to Superman. Which Superman, we don't know. And they were talking about having another Superman and J.J. Abrams coming in and doing this other Superman, this black Superman. And we were hearing about other things like they were trying to replace Henry Cavill. And we saw what they did, the vicious things they did on Henry Cavill's birthday and all of that. And we remember them clowning us on on YouTube and saying some snide things. So that administration was not interested in the Snyderverse at all. Okay? Now, now, David Zaslav and Warner Brothers Discovery have undid that. They clearly are moving in a totally different trajectory to what the previous administration was doing. We clearly can see now that they're trying to reinsert the Justice League instead of being replaced by the Justice Society of America. And the Justice Society of America, which is connected to Amanda Waller, it's good that that's there, but obviously it has to connect. You have to show that this is the same universe and that we're staying with the same universe. So I thought, hey, Justice Society of America is what they had, and they was going to use that to sort of kind of replace the Justice League. But if Henry Cavill shows up with sort of like a Justice League kind of vibe somewhere in Black Adam at some point in time, then it tells us that the Justice League that we're looking at is being pushed. The Justice League we're being pushed for is David Zaslav wants Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck. He wants Ray Fisher. He wants Ezra Miller, and he wants the Martian Manhunter guy, Harry. I forgot what his surname is. He wants those guys as the Justice League, okay, which would be awesome. All right. Now here's the thing. In addition to that, we're looking at David Zaslav pushing for the Justice League, and then we see HBO Max bring the heads of Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot, Ray Fisher, Ezra Miller, Jason Momoa, and who am I missing? I'm missing somebody. There's 6 of them. And Ben Affleck. We see them pop up as these emojis or these icons on their thing with the DCU guys next door. And we used to do that all the time. We compare, the Justice League to the DCU. So why is the Justice League being pushed so much? Well, this is what David Zaslav wants. Now, remember, even when the previous regime was there were people in HBO Max who supported us and the push for the Snyder Cut. And then there were people in HBO Max who were pushing for the Ayer Cut as well. And I remember those clippings. I have it on a SD card elsewhere. But the point is that was the push. So what I'm saying to you guys is that even before the change in regime, there were people inside of Warner Brothers. There were people inside of AT&T. There were people inside of HBO Max who actually wanted to see the Snyder Cut come out and then wanted to see the Snyderverse go forward. Okay, which is awesome. And those people are probably still there, hopefully. And we know some people lost their jobs because of it and so on. But what I'm saying is that we as fans, we pushed for this thing and it's coming to reality. It really is coming to reality. Now it's going to take a little time to come to reality and complete. But I'm very excited about it. I'm very hopeful about it. We will get, I believe, a Henry Cavill Superman film before Zack Snyder's Justice League Part 2, whatever it's called, comes to the fore. I think it's going to be even richer because we're going to have now Shazam there. We're going to have Black Adam there. We're going to have, characters maybe associated with them in that base, because the next 3 films are, first is Black Adam, then we got The Flash next year, and we also have Aquaman next year. The Flash is supposed to come out somewhere in June, I think. It's summertime. And apparently it's being reworked severely. They're doing a lot of work on it. And when it comes to Aquaman, I think it's supposed to come out at the end of the year. So for 2023, those 3 films will be done. And depending on how those 3 films are received, which is not, we don't care. This was a Hamadaverse kind of thing that they started doing. It was supposed to be Flashpoint Paradox. It's not that. Um, they're doing some serious working on the Flash apparently, and they're also doing some serious work on Aquaman. So it's the grind. Also, you're supposed to have Shazam: Fury of the Gods next year. I'm not too sure. I think that might be pushed back a little bit, and maybe David Sandberg will get a little chance to do a little bit more work on it. Maybe not. Who knows? Maybe it'll go out the way it is. Not a problem. At the end of the day, having Henry Cavill show up in Black Adam, which is what we all looking forward to. And we don't care. you, you can call it a spoil. You don't have to listen. What? Listen. Warner Brothers need to understand something. It ain't you're not spoiling nothing by showing Henry Cavill at the end of Black Adam. In a trailer or something, or hinting to him in a trailer, so that we see him. We see his face at least. Y'all not doing nothing against us because we are all into something when we're all into it. But you gotta Warner Brothers needs to do something about that because yes, Black Adam, it seems to be overshadowed by Henry Cavill's Superman, but it's a big thing. It's a big thing. So you gotta give us that assurance. So if in one of the trailers or one thing they show Henry Cavill there, it was a brief moment. They just show him or hint to him, and we see his face. We have to see his face. That'll be huge because that will tell us that Warner Brothers Discovery is definitely trying to restore the Snyderverse. And it's not just they're trying to restore the Snyderverse with Henry Cavill and no. They're trying to get the Justice League. They're trying to get the Justice League. They're gonna start with the Trinity, but they're gonna get the Justice League. They want a Justice League movie. And truth be told, a Man of Steel 2 movie should come out before any sequel of any movie. We got a sequel of Wonder Woman before we even had a Man of Steel 2. Or not a Man of Steel 2, a Superman 2 movie with Henry Cavill. That should never have happened. Right? Flash movie should have come out already, but that's okay. So, and we don't have a Batman movie. We haven't had a Batman solo movie, right? With Ben Affleck's Batman. So, these things were on the cards. These things were supposed to happen, and it says something else happened. Now, that's not a bad thing because it can enrich the DC. DC can be enriched. We got what's his name? We got the guy who did the Batman, right? He's got his thing going on there, and then you got Joker guy, Todd Phillips doing this Joker thing. He has a sequel to the Joker. We'll see how that do. But at the end of the day, I'm not so interested in either of those things. I'm interested in the DCEU, and then those things come second, right? So the fact that this property, which is probably going to rake in the biggest amount of money, the DCEU, Zaslav is investing a lot of money, and of course the whole Warner Brothers Discovery, they're working really diligently, really hard to get the right movies to come out, successful movies. They're not coming out. They're not trying. From here on in, movies have to be successful. All right, heads will roll. So, I'm looking forward to that because David Zaslav seems to be about it. Seems as though we're going down the trajectory of the Snyderverse for sure, like my boy Seal said, and Mikey Sutton has been saying for the longest while. And now this is it. We're going to get the Snyderverse restored, and this is a great thing. This is a great thing. But like I said before, when I reflected on it, particularly with this Black Adam, because Black Adam wasn't supposed to have Henry Cavill in it. Clearly, the old regime didn't want that to happen. Not supposed to have Henry Cavill in it. Clearly, Shazam, which was supposed to have Henry Cavill in it, didn't have Henry Cavill in it. You could see the old regime not trying to bring back Henry Cavill. They're like, Henry Cavill, people don't like Henry Cavill. We're going to try and phase him out. Right? Well, not so. Right? So, looks like, again, David Zaslav will be talking about Bonds being healed and annealed and all of that stuff. It looks like we're on course. The Snyderverse is being restored. So, of course, we want to see, as the trailers of Black Adam will start to roll out very soon, because October is right across the corner. It's like a couple weeks away from now. It's October. So, basically, we're almost in the middle of the month. So, October is going to come just now. And as a result of that, we can have this Black Adam movie. And, of course, everybody's really... people are like, oh, Yeah, I'll go see Black Adam, no problem. I'm not really hyped for it, but I will go see. Some people are like, I'm hyped for Black Adam. I'm like, cool. I'm not hyped for it, but definitely I want to see what changes happen to it. And let me say something. I'm going to go see Black Adam. No doubt about it. No ifs, buts, or maybe. I'm going to see Black Adam. I was very interested in Black Adam way back when. And then when I saw what was going on and the foolishness with the old regime, I wasn't interested in Black Adam anymore. And then I realized Black Adam, New Line Cinema was producing it and everything. It really kind of really took the taste out of it a little bit. But Black Adam, and this is very important, Black Adam is something that I don't know. I may be pleasantly surprised about the movie, but at the end of the day, if Henry Cavill's at the end of that movie, or wherever he is in that movie, we see the Justice League or a representation of the Justice League in that movie, you better bet your butt. However they put it together, I don't know. You better bet your butt that because that world's supposed to know about the Justice League somehow, some way, right? Well, not the League because the League hasn't broadcasted stuff like that to the world yet, but at least elements of the League. That's going to really make everybody happy, right? Because the whole point is, what direction are we going? We were going the direction of Marvel. We were marvelizing the movies, making them funny and everything. When David Zaslav wanted the structure of Marvel, somewhat of a structure of Marvel, but he's not interested in Marvel movies. Why would he make Marvel movies? Like, why would he make the same thing that another company's making? Why are you doing that? That doesn't make no sense. It's creative. You want to do something different. Anyways, people, I am Christ. I am disciple. Let me leave you guys with a piece of scripture. Let me go. I'm going to disappear for a minute. Come back. Hold on. Right. So, talk about Black Adam, all these things. So, what I'm saying is that I'm really happy what I'm seeing so far. Definitely going to go support Black Adam. I believe that we have the opportunity to see the Snyderverse restored. David Zaslav don't play around. He just doesn't. And they have a plan. They really do have a plan. I'm rocking with them. I hope they don't disappoint me because then I'm gonna turn my back on them. But I'm rocking with them, and let's see where we go with this. They're still looking for others. Well, maybe they're not. I mean, it's just not reported, but we'll see who the head of DC Studios will be. I'm very interested in that. Hope they somehow get somebody like Deborah Snyder or one of those guys. But I'm looking forward. I'm very hopeful for the future. Here it's kind of dark. Let me turn on the lights. Yes. So, very excited to see what'll happen. But yeah, restore the Snyderverse. Keep doing the hashtag restore the Snyderverse. I took a little long with this video. Most of my videos don't go this long anymore, but I wish you guys the best. It's a good time to be a DC fan. I'm telling you guys right now. I'm just so happy about it. I know it's a little premature, it seems like, but I'm definitely going to go see Black Adam. Now, if Black Adam disappoints me, I ain't going to see nothing else. But hopefully, Henry Cavill's in Black Adam. I hope they get the memo from San Diego Comic Con that people are coming to see Henry Cavill. But at the same time, if Black Adam happens to be a good ride, it happens to be a good film, then more power to it. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. Um, I'm Christ, I am disciple. Oh yes, I was supposed to. What did I do? What did I do with the books? Hold on a second. Yeah. So the bottom line was they were trying to distract. They were trying to refocus their attention on Justice Society of America instead of focusing uh, on the Justice League. They were trying to phase out the Justice League, which is crazy. But it is what it is. So Zack Snyder's Justice League kind of why Warner Bros. Say they regret that the old regime that is because Zack Snyder's Justice League turned out to be a big hit, a big success. So the trajectory's back to that. Whereas if that never came out, then they could continue down the path that they were doing, and people would think that Justice League was just a crappy film and associated with Zack Snyder. It's really nasty what they were trying to do. Just so dirty, man. But yeah. Right, so I'm gonna read something from real quick. It's nothing very long. Chapter 4 says of Galatians, now I say, the person who inherits their inheritance, as long as they're a child, uh, they differ in no way from a servant, though this person has inherited everything, but is under tutors and governors until the time appointed of his father. So someone can inherit everything, and yet at the same time, things are put in place where you might have inherited everything, but if you're a child, somebody has to take care of it on your behalf. And this basically is talking about growth again, whether you're a child in faith or child in whatever. And so you can have you can inherit a lot of great things. Like for example, if I were to say DC lore is tremendous when we inherited this DC lore, but you have to be guided. And in the case of directors and companies who are children in this kind of thing, you need to be guided by the fans. This is just what I think. Of course, spiritually speaking, there's also um, a understanding of Christianity and growing up in the knowledge and breadth and width of Christ. And so we have pastors to help people, shepherd people in the way of God, especially if you're a newcomer or whatever. So that's what I got for you guys. I am Christ I am disciple. Hope you guys enjoyed my video. If you ever take the time to watch it, also you can always watch it at double the speed, and that helps out the situation. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.